Frankie does have a book out titled A Trophy of God's Marvelous Grace. We have approximately 78, what's the number, honey?
78,000 in print.
78,000 in print, and I would, go ahead.
I would venture to say 68,000 are now in all 50 states and prisons throughout the U.S., in every state, and it's been a privilege to get them there, and all free. There's no charge whatsoever in shipping to the prisons, and of course nobody in the prisons is paying for any books anyway, and so they're all in there for free, and God has done a miraculous work there through it, and we praise God for it. And I'm going to let Judy share some more letters from some of the chaplains also that have sent us letters where you've ministered to. And we've ministered in Maine, New Hampshire, New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Ohio, Indiana, Connecticut, Illinois, Michigan, Kentucky, Oregon, Washington State, California, Nevada, and many other states. These are all prisons that we have ministered into in our years, 20 years of going into prisons. So Judy, go ahead and share some more of them.
This letter comes from Chaplain Brother North out of Prisoners for Christ out of Washington State. He says, I coordinate prison ministry volunteers to serve at detention facilities across Western Washington. It was my privilege to work directly with Frankie and Judy Palermo while they traveled through Washington State in June 2016, ministering at prisons, jails, juvenile facilities, and churches. Frankie and Judy visited 11 of the detention facilities that Prisoners for Christ works with. I have received similar feedback from all of the facilities. The ministry that the Palermos bring to the men is greatly effective. Frankie's testimony is more than just relatable to the inmates. It's also a huge draw due to the mafia element. Frankie can reach members of the inmate population that most in ministry cannot reach, which gives him a unique advantage in successfully conveying a message of change. His message of making right choices going forward through the power of Christ penetrates the hardest hearts. Frankie's wife Judy is the comforting mother figure to the prisoners as she shares her own testimony and sings songs to lift the hearts. On the outside chance that Frankie can't touch a heart, Judy can. Many inmates and chaplains have testified to the effectiveness of the Palermo's ministry. I believe that any facility would benefit greatly from having Frankie and Judy Palermo minister to their population. And this is from Chaplain Betts. He's out of Eastern Oregon. I want to thank you both for coming in this summer and ministering to the inmates of Eastern Oregon Correctional Institution. Your wonderful message of God's grace and love touched a lot of lives. Many inmates spoke to me afterwards and told me your story gave them hope. This is vital, considering prison can often be seen as a hopeless place. Your time in coming to share and showing us how the power of God's forgiveness can transform lives is greatly appreciated. And this one more I have is from Mr. Hawley out of Maine. I cannot tell you how blessed we are here in Maine for how God has used Frank and Judy to make Jesus' life-transforming love so real inside our state prisons. We are grateful to be in partnership with them and are looking forward to their return to Maine. And this is just the type of mail we get from chaplains, from inmates,